Good morning, good morning, good morning, Patriot brothers and sisters. This is Michael Cook coming to you live from Central Missouri. It is approximately 7:50 a.m. on 9/4/2020, September 4th, 2020. How are you all doing today? I hope you're doing fantastic. Looks like it's going to be another beautiful day in Central Missouri. I hope where you are, it's an exceptional day. And thank God it's Friday, right? So, just another day to go to work for me. Anyways, been watching the news lately, been watching the media and listening to the spin and the buildup as things start getting more crazy as far as the election season's coming up. You know, that's when all the weirdos come out and start telling you who to vote for, and it's just getting big, getting crazy. And Trump's doing his speech. He got out last night, and he gave a phenomenal speech off the cuff. I mean, it was teleprompter, then it was off the cuff. There's teleprompter, off the cuff. I think he just has a teleprompter to point him in the right direction, and then he goes. Anyways, I watched it getting there late to it last night for at least a good hour. And I'd say it was an hour and a half, something that was a long time. He just sat up there and just went one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. And really got that crowd riled up. And I just take a look and contrast that with Biden. And he had a rally, I guess, here the other day. And he had like 5 people sitting in it. Kind of ho-hum. He kind of talked like this, and he was really no energy, and it was a big difference. Whatever you want to call it. Maybe Trump knows how to put on a show better than Biden does. I don't know, but anyways, I digress. That's not what I want to talk about. It's just something that came into my mind. Anyways, so I've been watching the news, and the news has been going on and on and on about Trump and the post office and mail-in ballots. The Democrats are trying to get a bill passed which would mandate mail-in ballots across the country. I mean, what could go wrong? I mean, really, what's the big deal? We do mail, and people tell me all the time when I bring this up, well, we mail in ballots all the time. You can go down, you can do an absentee ballot and mail it in. Right. That's a solicited ballot, is what they call it. You go in, you affirm that you want a ballot. They send you a ballot. Everything is secured in the envelope. You do your thing, and then you send it off, and they count your vote. And it's got to be in by a certain deadline, or it doesn't count. So that's cool. I mean, we do that, and that's why my mom votes, and that's fine. But what they're talking about is everybody gets a ballot, like on the Oprah Winfrey Show. Everybody, you get a ballot, everybody gets a ballot. And they're sending these ballots out to everybody who's ever lived at that address. So someone opens their mailbox and there's 15 envelopes because 15 people have lived in that apartment. That can't be good. And you're thinking to yourself, why do they want to do this? Well, voter fraud. They want to commit voter fraud. That's what they want to do. And I don't think that's the case. I mean, I'm sure that's the case, but I don't think that's what they're trying to set up here. They have been bashing Trump for several weeks now for wanting to destroy the post office, for wanting to steal money from the post office, to want to make the post office go broke or disenfranchise people because they can't use the post office, because the post office is removing mailboxes. They're going all kinds of crazy things about the post office. So what's the deal here? What are they trying to set up? I think I figured it out. I really do think I figured out what their goal is, what they're trying to do, what this whole post office mail-in ballot, all this stuff is trying to. They know they're toast. They know that their candidate is not a winner at all. They know that Trump, if they have a debate, is going to eat his lunch. They know there might possibly be something wrong with this particular candidate. Not talking bad against him, but he's kind of having some issues in the memories and the communication. And that's a problem, especially when you're a presidential candidate. They know that the polls ain't looking good right now. They are going they come out and they say Biden's 5,000 points in the lead and everything is going to work out for Biden. But then the polls are kind of closing here and closing there. But there's some other polls, some internal polls that are showing not so much. See, they'll lie to you in their polling. We all know the polling ain't true this far out of an election. It's whatever they want you to believe. But when they go and they hire pollsters for their internal polls, they don't lie on their internal polls to themselves because, well, that's foolish. And they know that they're in trouble. The DNC, they know they're in trouble. They know Trump's got a huge advantage. They know that that Trump's going to probably clean their clock. And so they got to come up with something else. They got to come up with an excuse. You see, what they're trying to do is they're trying to take the post office and use it as an excuse. See, what's going to happen? There was an article, and I didn't look it up, and I should have, and I apologize. I'll look it up and post it later. There was an article that came out a couple days ago that said Trump's going to win in a landslide the day of the election. But don't worry, Democrats, don't worry. Because in a couple of days, 3, 4, 5 days a week, when they count all the mail-in votes, well, then Biden will have won the election. So don't worry, Democrats. Don't worry when Trump wins 50 states in a landslide election, the day of the election, the night of the election. Don't worry, Democrats, because we're going to pull this out of the bag with the mail-in votes. And then when the mail-in votes don't come through, when there just ain't enough to overcome those that actually showed up to the polls, when they can't lie and manipulate, you see, because there's a flaw. This premise that they could manipulate the mail-in votes, everybody's, oh, the Democrats are going to steal the election. I don't think they can use the mail-in votes. Because the states where they're going to do this, California, New York, Washington, Oregon, those states, they aren't going to go red anyway, maybe. They're not going to vote for Trump. So if you add more votes to those states, it doesn't change the delegate count. And the delegates are what elects the president. In the infinite wisdom of our founding fathers, they put in that we are not a democracy. We're a representative republic. And because of that, we elect delegates who elect the president. That's a topic for another discussion, but there you have it. So if they flood mail-in voting in the states like California, it won't make much of a difference if Trump's won everywhere else. You see, so they're creating an excuse. They're creating a lie. They're creating a reason. And they're going to jump on the bandwagon and say, Trump stole this election by making the post office lose ballots, screw up ballots, didn't get ballots there. That's why Trump won. Trump cheated. Russia kidnapped all the postmen and buried them in the desert. So therefore, your mail didn't go through and your vote didn't count. That's what they're setting up. That's the scenario they're setting up. They're setting up that they can declare that Trump never won the election. Therefore, he is not the president of the United States because the mail didn't run. And the mail's not going to run and not get enough votes in because it's the post office. What do you expect them to do? I mean, they're going to screw it up. They screw up everything. No offense to my friends who are postmen. I think you guys do a great job. I'm just talking about the bureaucracy of it. Government is not efficient, ever, in anything it does. The only thing the government does well is kill people and break things with the military. The rest of it, they're not efficient. And mind you, that's the only thing constitutionally allowed that they're to do. So I think that what we need to do as patriots, as if you're a Trump supporter, you need to understand what's coming. You need to prepare your mind and hearts for the battle that lies ahead. And you need to vote in person. You need to make sure that you're willing to go from hell or high water and go to that ballot box and make sure you vote, especially if you're watching me from California. I have friends and family out in California, and I know you're out there watching, Tina. You need to make sure that you vote. Don't do mail-in ballots. You see, because in the mail-in ballots, that's been proven in some other places where they do this, that the that the postman or woman may be not in favor of your candidate. And he may be picking up the mail in a district, in a location, in a neighborhood that is, more for your candidate. So he grabs all the ballots from that neighborhood that may be more for your candidate and, just sort of misplaces them in a dumpster or something. I mean, how could that possibly happen? Or maybe, it's possible that, I don't know, some unscrupulous campaign workers might, get a bunch of blank ballots from a district that may say, vote for Trump, and take those blank ballots and vote in names of people that are more than likely not going to vote. Real people, but they're more than likely not, as a demographic, going to vote. And they vote for Biden in that district and flip that district. Or they vote for the state level congressman or something. See, mail-in ballots leave way too much open to mess with. What's kept our country safe, what's kept our country working for all these years is that you had to go up, show up in person, and vote. And you see, each vote, each election is controlled locally. Here in Pettis County, the local guy, I happen to know him, I don't want to say his name, but the local guy, you know who I'm talking about. He controls the election here, right here. And in every county across this country, that's the way that it is, that the local community controls that particular election, even for the United States of America. And that's why it's so hard for a foreign entity, Russia, China, wherever, or a political party to affect the vote on a nationwide level because it's so decentralized. But what does Nancy Pelosi, after she gets her hair done with her mask off illegally, want to do? She wants to nationalize elections by sending out ballots to everybody, like Oprah Winfrey. Do you see a problem here? Do you see where this is coming from? They're not going to succeed in getting every ballots in everybody's hands that way. But what they are going to attempt to do is steal this election after it's lost by setting up a scenario that Trump cheated because he didn't allow the post office to do what they want to do. So be prepared. Between that and the eruption of the leftist Marxists burning everything down in the next 2 months, be prepared. So when you hear the media talk about the post office and they say that Trump's trying to get rid of the post office, destroy the post office, kill everybody in the post office, no, this is the scenario. Think that they are setting up the future argument. They're preparing the way for the future argument that Trump stole this election. So with that, I'm going to jump off here. My rant is over. I hope you have a great day. Remember that we all have to do our part. We all have to get up and do our part to make sure that the people who have ran this country into the dirt don't get it back. You have a great day. Like, comment, and share my video if you like what I'm saying. Let me know what you're thinking out there, and I will catch you all later.